If you want to make 10K a month as quick and fast as possible, you need to sacrifice everything. And the reason for that is pretty simple. You see, you can't just juggle around 5 things at a time and divide your precious attention between all of them, because in order to really make something work, you need to put focused effort into it, or otherwise it will all blow up in your face and you will lose in the long run. Which is why in this video, we will talk about the concept of sacrificing everything, guys. So yeah, the reason you are not making 10K a month yet is that you took certain actions and lived a certain lifestyle that prevented you from focusing on the right things. And that's as simple as it can get. You simply took action on the wrong things, you know? And there are many examples for this, such as playing video games, going out with friends partying, scrolling TikTok or Instagram, or like your phone in general, like using it too much, you know? So these are the things that distracted you from acquiring a high-level skill that would have allowed you to make huge amounts of money in your early years, right? They don't make you a better person or improve your life in any regard, like these bad habits, you know? Which is why you need to be focusing on the right things, such as going to the gym, or like in general, like focusing on your fitness, eating clean, sleeping well, and working hard on money generating activities, such as like learning a business model, you know? And I have a short story to tell to you guys. It's a pretty funny one. So yeah, back in the day when I started like my whole self-improvement journey and like the whole online business stuff, I started like cutting out some bad habits and stuff and really implementing like the good stuff. And I started feeling like very fulfilled whenever I did something that was very productive, like for my whole journey, you know? So, you know, the feeling like when you do your homework for school or like for your university, you kind of feel fulfilled in the sense of, oh, I managed to pull off this thing, I'm finally done. And you get this like little status boost kind of. That's what you call a like serotonin boost. There's always like dopamine and serotonin, you know, like the other kind of happy hormone, you know. And I looked into the mirror. I was so proud of myself. I was like so hyped up because I achieved something. I don't even remember what it was. I think something like along the lines of fitness. I don't know. I was so hyped up, maybe because of like a bench press PR or something. And I looked in the mirror and asked myself, bro, why don't I cut out all of the crap, like all of the bad habits that are like bad for me, and why don't I just go all in on these things? Why don't I go all in on the things that actually make me happy and fulfilled in the long run? Why don't I make my whole life about work and like fitness and eating clean and good sleep and stuff? Why don't I perfect my life, you know? Because if this is going to make you so fucking happy instead of like the cheap dopamine you get like from playing video games and stuff, why wouldn't I want to go all in on those like serotonin generating activities, you know? It all made so much sense to me back then, and that's when I decided to cut out everything besides like the real genuinely good habits for me that drive the needle forwards for me. So yeah, I realized that we need to maximize the amount of time we put into things that make us a better, happier, and more successful person, you know? And in order to do that, we need to cut out all of the crap, you know? Because the simpler and easier your life gets, the more focused you are on the high leverage tasks that push the needle forward in terms of your success journey, guys, you know? But there are 3 stages to cutting out the crap, and I am going to cover all of them. Starting with stage number 1, cutting out bad habits, guys. I've already explained this in my story, but I am going to go a little bit more in depth so you actually understand what bad habits even are and how you can cut them out. So yeah. Get rid of all the things taking your life energy away from you. The things damaging your health, you know, damaging your life, like video games, social media, adult content, you all know what I'm talking about, and alcohol and drugs, you know. These are like the main 4 things in the life. There are of course like some different ones, like binge watching content, for example, you know, like watching Netflix and stuff. These are like the main 5 bad habits you could have in your life, you know, and you need to cut out every single one of them in order to remove all of this like cheap dopamine that is actually destroying your life and wasting your time. And you need to replace it with like long-term kind of delayed gratification habits instead of like instant gratification in order to really put in the right work and in order to really become successful, right? So these are not just wasting your time, but also damaging your life and health, because video games are like providing a false version of reality to you, in which you are like conquering something. They are like giving you a false sense of status. Social media is just like frying your dopamine receptors and like decreasing your attention span. Adult content is like preventing you from getting girls and stuff. And alcohol and drugs is of course like bad for your health in general. You know, binge watching content is also very bad for your dopamine receptors and like for your attention span. So and also it's giving you a sense of status because you see other people succeeding when they fight the dragon or like, I don't know, get the girl, whatever, you know. So these are damaging your life, and that's why you need to remove those as soon as possible, guys. These are bad habits you need to get rid of, you know. If you do this, you won't just have more time, because it's not just a time-wasting activity, it's also like a damaging activity. You will not just have more time for the right things, you will also have more energy and more motivation, because you are not wasting your energy, right? Stage number 2 will be cutting out time-wasting activities, guys. I spelled this wrong, but it doesn't matter. These aren't bad habits in terms of like damaging your life, because they are not like hurting your health or something, but they definitely waste time that you could ultimately or alternatively use for becoming successful, like going to the gym, eating clean, or doing business, whatever, right? Examples for this will be like seeing your friends regularly. And I know, guys, it's important to socialize and it's important to see friends here and there if you are like a very kind of extroverted person. But this is going to waste your time. If you see your friends for like 8 to 10 hours a week, bro, imagine what you could do with that time in terms of like doing like progress in terms of like making money online, you know? You only have like 10 to 15 hours a week that you can put into business, because the other 40 hours you are in like school or at work. So why would you waste this precious time for just chilling and hanging out, you know? Of course, like without the drugs, because this would be a bad habit, but just seeing your friends and like talking and chilling is an act of wasting time, you know? Chatting with friends too often on WhatsApp, like being on social media and chatting, is also a time-wasting activity, so you should also cut this out. And I'm pretty sure there are even more, like going to social events, like football games and stuff. Of course, socializing is good to a degree, but if you have shit to do, you should like kind of minimize the amount of social events you have in your life, or like the amount of interaction, like social things you have, because you need to like act, you know? So because the act of doing these things is you trying to enjoy your life. The act of like trying to indulge into these time-wasting activities, like seeing your friends, is the act of trying to enjoy your life. Even though there is nothing to enjoy in the first place, because you have nothing, you are broke, you can't even spend too much money in like with like chilling with them. You can't rest, because you have to imagine, guys, everything you do in life is almost every single time a bad habit, you know, like going partying and drinking alcohol and chilling around. If you just talk with your friends, you usually do this like in the apartment of someone. So this is going to be, how are you going to enjoy this? This apartment costs like something like $400 a month, and you are living like a brokey. So of course, if you go in a club, it can be like more enjoyable. But if you cut out all of the bad habits while you see your friends, there's nothing you can enjoy, you know, because you don't have anything of quality in your whole environment. So second thing will be, you don't deserve enjoying your life at all in the moment, you know, because you have to put in the work first in order to earn like the fruits of your labor and to really enjoy your life in the long run, you know. You don't deserve enjoying your life yet because you didn't put in any work. And point number 3 will be, you shouldn't enjoy your life when there's still so much to do, guys. That's the third rule, guys. You still have so many things to do, and after you are finished with like building your whole life, you can chill, guys. And I'm almost at that stage where I have like lots of like almost all of the things like figured out for myself when I'm like 22, and I can chill the rest of my life. So that's very nice. So Try to cut out all of the instances in a week in which you waste your precious time that you could alternatively use for business or other realms of success. And now to stage number 3, breaking free from the deeply ingrained ones. There are always bad habits or time-wasting activities that are really hard to cut out. It can be like a bad habit, but also like a time-wasting activity. For me, it was video games. This stuck with me a very long time. For you, it might be smoking cigarettes or going outside with your friends every 2 days or every weekend. But you need to put all your energy together and get rid of the thing, guys. That's so important to understand. Try to make it work because it's occupying your attention. You are losing your soul to this kind of stuff, right? I always thought I'm going to miss video games. Oh, I wish I will play video games in the future again. No, I'm not going to miss them. The truth is you won't at all. The nice memories are of course going to remain, the nice memories you've had with like gaming and stuff. It was cool, but you accept the fact it will never be the same. You accept the fact these are going to remain memories, but you are not going to do it ever again, because you simply grow up. Surprisingly, I felt like I was finally free when I quit my last bad habit. I was finally free after I decided playing video games. I played it only like for once a week. So yeah. I always knew it was a bad habit. I just couldn't get myself to stop it, Truthfully, you only feel the freedom if you completely let go of the thing. Even if you just do it once a week, like I did with like video games, your mind is still occupied and you remain being enslaved to the bad habit, guys. And that's as simple as it can get. You need to cut it out completely. And in order to not miss the old habit, you need to implement a good habit or put more time into an existing good habit to fill the gap. Because otherwise, if you lose all of the dopamine, like the short-term gratification, you need some serotonin to fill the gap, right? So you can't just go like raw dogging. That won't be possible. Or you would have to like meditate for 5 hours in order to be able to kind of have nothing in your life. So yeah. Guys, I want you to really understand this. The more we sacrifice in our life, the more successful, happy, and fulfilled we are going to become. Because the simpler your life gets, the fewer bad habits you have and the less time you waste, the faster and better you will reach 10K a month, guys. And that's what you guys all want. So go out there and sacrifice everything, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want even more source on like mindset, outreach, or like copywriting in general, feel free to join my free inner circle. It's like a free school. Link is in the bio. I have a free 2-hour outreach masterclass in there telling you exactly how to get your first copywriting client in the next 4 to 8 weeks if you are willing to put in the work and if you already have the service delivery side of things figured out. And yeah, it's almost like a paid mentorship because you can ask me questions in there. And yeah, I do it completely for free. I also review your looms and stuff, review your samples, which are like the two outreach methods I teach in there. And yeah, there will be thousands of members in there, so you are still early. Hope to see you in there in the next video. Bye bye.